with you on the phone. You took tremendous action in following up with your teachers with the customized strategy cards. What do you think was the tipping point when we had that follow-up call where everyone got on the call? That was a blast. We had so much fun. But how did you feel that kind of moved things a little bit from that phone?
So that initial meeting was intense. It was 6 hours. It was a lot. You threw a lot at them. They were taking notes frantically.
Yeah.
It was a lot to get in the brain.
Yeah.
Then you started sending emails, and those emails helped. Plus, listen, whoever does this program, the director has to, or the person in charge who's going to be dealing with Hani has to really want this, and they have to really implement it and make sure their teachers are okay and working well with everybody.
Yeah.
That conference call, a few of my teachers at first were like, oh, I don't have time, I can't do this, I don't know, what's the point? We've been following through and we're doing. Once they got on that phone, no one wanted to hang up. It was amazing because they got that second chance to ask follow-through questions that they had personally, or even extra questions that they now thought of. And Hani, it was just fun. It was I was laughing the whole hour. A great night out, you would say, in pajamas in your own room.
I know, right?
But on the phone, getting wonderful advice. And I also liked, they were able to do it, like I said, you could be in pajamas if you wanted, but we were all together. So if one teacher asked the question, oh, I also have that issue in my classroom. So we were all together, and Hani, it wasn't written down. I didn't have to pass it on. Everyone was there and heard the advice together. So that, to me, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think that was the tipping point, because then they heard again, it's always nice. We have all these wonderful programs, and this person comes and speaks in September, and then by December, it's forgotten about. Here, you spoke in September. I was following through the whole time. November, we had our conference on the phone, and everyone heard her again and was like, oh yeah, we're doing this some more. And again, any other questions were followed up on. So it was wonderful. Plus, Hani came and sat in on each class. That, to me, was even better than the conference, even though I had a blast at the conference. That conference call. This coming into each room and observing, watching the children, watching how the teachers interact with the children, and letting teachers also ask questions. Those 45 minutes spent in each room was really, I think that was phenomenal. It helped me also as a director. Because I had one teacher that it was bothering me. She sits in a rolling chair. She sat, I should say, because that's over. But she used to sit in a rolling chair, and she'd roll from center to center, or if someone needed help, so she'd roll over. Get up. You are with kindergarten boys. You are young. I'm 30. Get up and move, girl. So when I had said something to her about, you have to be a little bit more active with the children. One, get on their level, get on your knees and talk to them. But when Hani was in the classroom, she noticed that. And that was one of the comments that we discussed with the teacher, what's going on in the room. Now, I didn't only speak to teachers. I also went to assistants. So when I went to this assistant, and it said, remember what I told you 2 weeks ago when Hani came to observe the room, she noticed this. That was the end. It was like pushed it over. Even though I'm the head. Now an outsider is commenting. Phenomenal.
It was, and I think these are like these little pivotal moments that just really help the teachers understand, oh my gosh, like I do need to make this change, and I'm ready for it. Like, it's not so scary. I am ready to move forward in these little, changing points. And it was also one of the things I just want to point out what Wendy was saying before about, if you're going to take on this program, the director has to be fully committed. I emailed Wendy like a full document of customized strategy cards that we wrote for every single teacher. Wendy sat with every teacher and reviewed those cards with each teacher. And that was where the biggest follow through came up, where it was like, here's the comment on this, here was the comment on cleanup, on, on your circle time, on your transition to the gym, on all of these different pieces here. So,
so that's what I'm saying. If the director is not 100% in it,
yeah,
then you're wasting your money.
yeah,
You're wasting time. You're wasting everything. It's not even worth. You need to really be in it, and then you have to follow through.
yeah. So this brings me to my final piece where, when you're telling a director who's thinking about investing in this program, besides the fact that she has to be fully committed, what else would you tell her where it would be like, you know what, okay, this is it for me. I need to jump in here.
Right. So I would tell other directors, I think it's worth every school having you come for sure for a year. Some schools may need more, but for sure for 1 year, every school, even I'm doing this for really many, many years.
Tell us how many years.
I'm director of Darkei Torah's preschool for 20 years.
Wow.
I worked for about 8 years in another preschool.
And you also have a lot of veteran teachers.
Yes, I have a lot of veteran teachers. I have teachers who've been here over 20 years. Most of my teachers are here 10 years. Teachers don't leave. It's a rare, unless they're moving, teachers really do not leave.
Right.
So everyone had experience. Everyone is very well educated. They go to classes. They have their masters. Everyone knows what they're doing. However, it never, ever hurts to have someone else come with a new view, different eyes, to just pick up on a little something. Because that head teacher didn't mind that her assistant was rolling around in the chair. It didn't bother her. It was bothering me. And then once it's bothering Hani, I know it's not good. Now I have on my head, I added something.
Right.
Like all these little things, the teacher who took the advice the step further with the putting in the plan book, which assistant should do what, she's working for 12 years. She's phenomenal, but it just changed the whole dynamic of the room. Everyone feels great. So this is something worthwhile for really every school, even if you think you already know it all. Yeah,
I love it.
And I have my doctorate. But there's always something to learn. If you, so I have a quote hanging.
Okay.
It says, when you're finished changing, you are finished. I have this hanging in my office.
Love that, Wendy.
When you are finished changing, you are finished. Wow. I truly believe it. So it's something that every director needs to hear.
Right.
This is something very worthwhile. My teachers gained a lot. Everyone for themselves, their own personal questions, issues that they were having, and all the general things. Right. So I think it's a phenomenal program, speaking to everyone together, then meeting each teacher separately in their classroom, even changing some of where maybe the kitchen center is to a different
we did that. Right.
Or you changed one person, some things. So all those little things, having a Hani come in to observe and to watch and to discuss is phenomenal. This is not a waste of money. This is it's something very worthwhile.
Right. Wendy, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing just your experience, and also the biggest piece about constantly taking the time to improve, no matter how many years you've been in the field, how many veteran teachers you have, how big your program is, how little your program is. The investment of taking the time to truly make your school of excellence is so powerful. So thank you